Business report.
The stocks edge back from their record levels as a busy week for Wall Street picks up momentum. The S&P 500 fell 0.3% after setting all-time highs for 6 straight days. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 204 points. The NASDAQ Composite sliced 0.4 off its own record. SoFi Technologies rallied, but Merck and UPS fell following a jumbled set of profit reports. Treasury yields sank in the bond market as the Federal Reserve began a 2-day meeting on interest rates. Reports suggested the U.S. economy remains solid but is slowing. The Dow down 204 points today, closing at 44,632. The NASDAQ lost 80 to 21,098. The S&P 500 dropped 19 to 6370. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Could have some scattered storms up until midnight this evening. Our low will drop to 77 overnight. Tomorrow, more of the same. High temperature about 93 to go, with that usual 30 to 40% chance we get an afternoon downpour. Looking ahead to the weekend, some relief from the heat. Saturday and Sunday highs in the low 80s. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
And welcome into Sports Talk, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network on a Talking Tuesday night. We're just a couple of days away from the start of football camp. Actually, I think Wofford got after it today, I think. And I think Furman gets after it tomorrow. Clemson on Thursday, South Carolina on Friday. Let's just all give a cheer that college football is here. The Fighting Footballers lead the way. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll be appearing at the lounge at the Columbia Airport from midnight till 3 a.m. Mother Nature's a beautiful
may want
thing.
To steal that, Phil, and change the words to the fight song.
Maybe so.
That's well done.
Mother Nature's a beautiful thing. You know, she giveth and she taketh away. Yesterday, it poured in downtown Columbia, not a drop in my neighborhood. This afternoon, I mean, it dropped and it dropped. It dropped big time. I saw a group of people on a boat look like George Washington crossing the Delaware. Where's my rim shot? Come on, plumber. Where's the rim shot? It looked like George Washington crossing the Delaware. I mean, it was really coming down. Did you get any rain in your area?
No. Now, I think we did over here in the PD somewhere. We got a lot of thunder, but no rain this afternoon. Got a little bit of rain, I think, last night. So we shall see.
Well, we needed it, and the temperature dropped. It was about 99, and it started raining, and it dropped to about 77. Still humid, and still raining a little bit in the northeast part of Columbia. So enjoy it while it's coming down. All right, tonight it's Talking Tuesday. Just a few minutes, we'll get an update. American Legion State Baseball Tournament starting to wind down. They're down to just a few teams, and they've got games scheduled for tomorrow, so we'll get the latest on that. We're going to visit with Clemson defensive end T.J. Parker coming up tonight and talk about, boy, what a great season he had last year. If you don't remember what he did, how about 20 tackles for loss and 11 quarterback sacks? And I tell you, in the state of South Carolina, you look at this season, you got Stewart, you got Parker. We'll see how good Held is at Clemson. He may have three of the top defensive ends in the country all playing in the same territory with those three guys. So we'll hear from him tonight. I had made plans. I had expected to be up at the coaches' clinic, the South Carolina Athletic Coaches Association clinic in Greenville. That was my plan. But from talking to Scott early today, they wrapped things up about 5 o'clock. So there wasn't going to be anything going
you
on.
would have been the only one there.
Yeah, I'd be talking to myself. So better than that, we've got David Shelton joining us a little bit after 7 o'clock. He's been there for the whole thing.
Excellent.
And he'll fill us in on the hot topic or topics that the coaches have been kicking around as they get ready to start their practices. The football coaches get ready to begin practice. I think they start on Thursday for the high school league. Of course, the SCISA teams have already started things. And Josh Harris from Darlington will join us here. Lots to talk about in the NASCAR world as, we flipped the calendar, and all of a sudden it becomes Darlington month here in South Carolina because we go racing on August 31st. The Cookout Southern 500, the first playoff race for NASCAR. A lot of things happening in that area of the world. So we talk about all that, plus recruiting. Take your phone calls. You want to join us? You got something to say? Say it. Say it. 888-898-2525 is the number. You got something you want to text? Text it. 803-900-4847. You got smoke signals you want to send? Send smoke signals. Plummer can decipher. One of his many talents is the ability to decipher smoke signals. So he will break those down for us.
That will come in handy at the parking lot for football games.
Yes, it would.
He'll be able to. You won't need to, hey, Josh, report to the Rockets. You won't need to do that. He'll just be able to figure out where his friends are via the smoke signals.
All right. So, by the way, we have something to give away tonight. This is very nice. Yeah. Well, South Carolina gave us these yesterday. Those who wanted them could pick them up, and I picked up 2, so I'm giving away 1. This is the official yearbook of the Professional Football Hall of Fame. In other words, it's the program for this weekend's induction of the newest class of Hall of Famers, which includes, of course, former South Carolina great Sterling Sharp. It's an excellent program with information on all the folks going into the Hall of Fame.
Who else is in that
class? The history of the Hall of Fame. Who else is in the class? That would be Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, Sterling Sharp. I think that's it. I think those are the ones.
Yeah, impressive class.
So we're going to give away, we got a trivia question based on Sterling Sharp's career at South Carolina. We'll do this a little bit later on, but the correct answer will earn you this yearbook from us, taken from the University of South Carolina, and we'll put that in your hands. So, by the way, one of the other, I didn't win a trophy yesterday. I didn't win any money yesterday at Birdies with Beamer, but long-time former South Carolina assistant AD, Dr. John Moore, who was here in the Carlin administration. Well, he lives out at the golf course out there. He's a great gentleman. And so he was cleaning out his garage, and he found like boxes and boxes, dozens of golf balls that had not been opened. And he brought them and gave them to Steve Fink and the folks there at USC and said, just give these away to people.
Wow.
So as I was leaving, you know what I did? I grabbed 2 boxes.
Good for you.
I mean, they're nothing. I mean, who even know? They're so old, if you hit them, they might explode. I'm not sure. They've just been sitting in his garage. But what the heck, man? I got two brand new boxes. I got that'd be 8 new sleeves of golf balls I can lose over the next couple of months. So that was a bonus as well. All right, let's catch up on some things. Our phone number, 888-898-2525, South Carolina Education Lottery, lucky number to reach us here on Sports Talk. Let's see what a couple of the major things of the day are. You know, this is why I love this time of year for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's football season, and we all know that is, not just here, but really around the entire country with a few spots maybe on the outside. But by and large, football season, that's when everybody gets dialed in. That's where everything becomes a heck of a lot more in focus and a heck of a lot more important. But I also like the routine of football season, Like our show becomes very routine during football season. Monday night we're doing this with Zach. Tuesday night it's a Talking Tuesday. Wednesday it's X's and O's with the coaches and so on and so forth. I like the way things run during football season that way, and so I'm saying that by pointing out that it's still a little quiet, but things are going to start picking up within the next couple of days. But as far as a couple of the major items that caught my eye today, one out of Pickens County. I don't know if you saw this story.
I did. It's crazy about Daniel High School.
Yeah.
Yeah, bizarre story.
Well, several students apparently on the Daniel High School football team criminally charged for what's being called a very serious incident at a football camp at Presbyterian College last month. They were at a Fellowship of Christian Athletes summer camp at Presbyterian. This according to the Pickens County School District Board of Trustees. Video of the incident has been circulating on social media. Statements from Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the Pickens County School District, and Presbyterian were released Sunday and Monday, and a law firm representing the family of the student who was injured and the individuals involved in the incident were Daniel High School football players. So everybody involved here are Daniel High School football players. On Tuesday, the Board of Trustees of the school district, Pickens County, sent a statement confirming one student was injured and several students were criminally charged. Of course, they are outraged by this, and they're taking what they think is the proper action in this case. It says here the board is appalled that this serious incident occurred and that the student was injured during a school-sponsored event. The board remains committed to ensuring the safety of all students and athletes and will take the necessary steps to prevent a similar situation from occurring in the future. The 8th Circuit Solicitor, David Stumbo, also issued a statement that his office is aware and they are monitoring the situation daily and working closely with the Department of Juvenile Justice and law enforcement agencies that have jurisdiction. I haven't seen the video. Did you see the video?
I did not. I looked forward to when I saw this story break a day or so ago, and if I'm not mistaken, even though this was a football camp at PC, the football program at Presbyterian had nothing to do with this, and you wonder what the kids were thinking. I mean, you're at a Fellowship of Christian Athletes event. Might want to, I don't know, not beat up somebody. I don't know that that's too much to ask, period, much less at an FCA event.
I agree. I agree. And one thing that bothers me, and maybe, I know there's a reason, I guess, but maybe we've outlived that reason. I preface this by saying I've never been in law enforcement. I'm not a lawyer. But, when juveniles do bad adult-like things, why don't we identify them? Why are they protected when they do bad things that an adult would do? Like, I don't know, kill somebody or, get pulled over for drunken driving. Mm-hmm. If you're under, what is the age? I don't even know what the age is that you're protected to as far as not having your name released in a criminal situation. What's the age?
18.
Plumbers, 18?
When you're not a minor, yeah, it's 18.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even know that. Why don't we identify these people?
Well, the issue you run into, Phil, is keep in mind all of these kids are still innocent until proven guilty. And if you label a kid, and I get your point, and I can see that argument because it happens all the time to adults. But I can see the reasoning. You might want to protect a child or a young person because if they're found not guilty, you don't want this hanging over their head and working and hanging over their head throughout the rest of their lives. So I can see why you might try and protect a juvenile a little bit more so than an adult.
Okay.
However, that does not excuse if they are guilty of what they were accused of doing. I think we'll certainly find out who they are.
Well, I haven't seen the video. I did read a statement from the mother of the injured player, the injured student, and I have no idea the people on the other side, the students who are charged in this case, or maybe under arrest or whatever. But I mean, if it's clear that you had some players ganging up on another kid like this, I mean, you can't have those guys on your team.
No,
they've got to be dismissed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's not what a team is all about. Number one, no. And you can't, especially. I mean, you're in and then you're doing it on a college campus at a FCA camp. How lost are you for doing something like that? So, I would say that the Daniel coaching staff, these kids, you got to show them the door. You can't have them representing your program. If the ones that are guilty, I don't want to see anybody innocent thrown out, but the guilty parties should be shown the door, period. Speaking of that kind of stuff, Tennessee is not going to dismiss Boo Carter from the program. This, despite speculation on his future. Earlier this month, it was reported that the defensive back had missed multiple team activities. He was confronted by team leaders. Today, Chris Lowe, ESPN, Rock Hill native, had further details on his future with the program. He wrote a lot of speculation last 2 weeks, but sources told him that Carter is not being dismissed from the team. Josh Heupel, he did address that situation a little bit later on in the day and also confirmed that Carter is being dealt with, within the program, but is part of the program, still with the program, and I guess if he gets back into good graces, he'll be able to play there at Tennessee. So don't really know what his issue is. Don't know if it's money related or just what, but sounds like they're going to stick with him for the time being.
CBS has a story about this. They claim in the story that it has nothing to do with name, image, and likeness. I find that really hard to believe, especially considering this is a school who already ran somebody off. I'm leaving you because they couldn't come to terms with him on a new contract. So I find that hard to believe. And if this is a kid who's missing preseason workouts and the like, I can't believe the players want him around. He didn't go through the heat and all the stuff they had to do during the summertime. I can see why Tennessee wants to keep him around. He's a preseason All-SEC third team member.
Yep, exactly right.
He's a good player.
Exactly right. Let's see. Wofford reported to campus today, begin preparation for the season. The first practice will be held, actually, it's tomorrow morning. The team reported today in their first practice, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Over 120 players reported to campus. Team is returning a total of 10 starters from last season. Furman reports to campus tomorrow. They'll begin practice Thursday at 9, and they'll practice in shorts and helmets Thursday from 9 to 11. Repeat that schedule on Friday and Saturday. And they've got 14 graduate players, a total of 118 on the squad, 9 seniors, 15 juniors, 25 sophomores, 51 freshmen. Approximately 116 players are set to report on Wednesday. 14 starters and 40 lettermen are back from last year's team for Furman. A couple of basketball notes. South Carolina, North Carolina women are going to play an exhibition game in Atlanta on October 30th at State Farm Arena. How you feel about that, Bergie?
I put it as a regular season game.
Yeah.
And you know how much I enjoy neutral site games in college athletics.
Well, if you like that, you're going to love this. Furman is going to open the regular season November 3rd against High Point in what's now being called the Field of 68 Opening Day Marathon. It's actually not a bad idea. It's kind of cute. The Paladins and Panthers will tip off at 6:30 in the evening at the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center The game to be streamed on the Field of 68's YouTube and X pages. Winthrop will take on Queens in the opening game of the marathon at 8 in the morning. St. Bonaventure and Bradley will play at 11 o'clock, again at the Rock Hill Sports and Event Center. So they've got two different locations. Rock Hill is one of them. So they're going to be running games, I guess, all day between those two locations. So you can watch basketball there as early as 8 in the morning. That's Winthrop. Furman's going to play at 6:30. How you like that schedule?
Hey, nothing says basketball quite like a 4 a.m. pregame meal.
Ugh.
I wonder what Winthrop and their opponent are going to be eating at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Monday.
They'll get a lot of attention out of this because of the the uniqueness and the notoriety. Okay, we'll be right back.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
Our poll question of the week, finally got it out there. Didn't have it up yesterday. Got it up for today's show. Our poll question of the week, which is brought to you by Larry Lucas Insurance in downtown Columbia. Be sure to give Larry a call at 803-799-1998 for all your insurance needs. 803-799-1998. How do you expect South Carolina's defense this season to compare to last season's? They were really good last year. How do you expect them to compare to last season's defense? Improved? About the same? Or not as good? I mean, I know they've lost some significant players, Bergie, some really good players, many of whom are in NFL camps. That tells you how good they were. But they've replaced them with some good players. I think their secondary, despite Eman Worry being gone, I think their secondary remains very solid. I think Peyton Williams, they like him a lot at that other secondary spot. I think they've got at least three really good corners to rotate in there. The nickel position looks strong with Kilgore. If a couple of these transfer defensive tackles if they play the way they've been talked about, then they're going to help fill the holes. And I think the linebacking position is going to be, fine. Going to be okay. Maybe not quite as good as last year's group, but not too far below. So I don't know if I could say about the same. Right now, 66.7% of the voters say not as good, and 33.3% say about the same. Nobody thinks they'll be improved.
I think that's fair. I mean, you look at what they were able to accomplish last season. They were 16th nationally in total defense and 12th nationally in scoring defense. They were actually better in both categories than Clemson. And we're talking about Clemson being all world this year on defense because of what they've got returning. I mean, it's going to be difficult, I think, for the Gamecocks to meet that standard. Now, don't tell Clayton White that, because he feels like he's got guys. He made the comment, everybody's wondering about the guys they lost. He said, we've got guys who replaced them. And he feels very confident about that unit. I don't see why he shouldn't, but I think a drop-off is to be expected considering what they lost to the NFL.
Well, if they can still keep it to around 19, 20 points per game, that'll give them a good shot if they're able to do that. Let's squeeze in a quick phone call before the bottom of the hour break as we go to Trey in Pawleys Island. Hey, Trey, welcome to Sports Talk. How you doing?
Phil, I'm down here on vacation, and I'm a good friend of Jimmy Smith's, too. And anyway, it's a great area to be in, a great area for people to vacation.
Absolutely.
Having a good time. And I was told to ask you this. I ran across a fella that said that he bought your first beer.
Bought my first beer?
Yes, sir. He was from Atlanta, South Carolina.
Oh, I remember that night quite well. That's my buddy, Mr. Shelley.
That's correct.
Yeah. I had no choice. I had no choice. He was in pharmacy school, and I was a freshman, and he said, come meet me for pizza. And, of course, we grew up across the street. Well, he's older than me, but he lived down the street from me. And he said, I said, okay. I said, I'll have a Coke. He goes, we're drinking beer. And, he bought a pitcher of beer, and that was it. It was over with.
He married a gal that was her daddy was a good friend of my daddy's, and they were big Clemson people. And but of course he went to pharmacy school at South Carolina. And but I just thought you'd like that.
I appreciate that. Hey, he won't brag on himself, but I'll tell you, he was a heck of a football player back in the day for dear old Atlanta High. Man, defensive end, he would bring the heat off the edge. He was T.J. Parker, Dylan Stewart-like.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Could have some scattered storms up until midnight this evening. Our low will drop to 77 overnight. Tomorrow, more of the same. High temperature about 93 to go, with that usual 30 to 40% chance we get an afternoon downpour. Looking ahead to the weekend, some relief from the heat. Saturday and Sunday highs in the low 80s. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
The Point is teaming up with our friends at Americans for Prosperity, South Carolina, for one big, beautiful party. Join us at Flight Deck Restaurant in Lexington, Friday, August the 8th, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We'll do the afternoon drive live. And how about this? The food is on us. It's AFP and the Point's way of saying, hey, thanks for always supporting important causes, calling your elected officials, caring about local issues. Friday, August the 8th, Flight Deck. Come by and celebrate one big, beautiful party. We'll see you there.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Officials say Russian glide bombs and ballistic missiles have struck a Ukrainian prison and a medical facility as Russia's relentless strikes on civilian areas killed at least 27 people across the country. The attacks came despite President Trump's threat to punish Russia with sanctions and tariffs unless it stops the barrages. Police say a gunman who killed 4 people in a Manhattan skyscraper before taking his own life claimed to have a brain disease linked to contact sports and was trying to target the National Football League's headquarters in the building. New York City Mayor Eric Adams says investigators believe the gunman wanted to get up to the NFL's offices on Monday but entered the wrong elevator. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 204 points. More details at srnnews.com.
I don't know too many folks out there who love paying taxes, but what about getting tax credits? That's appealing, right? My buddy Ken at Broker Solar is in the tax credit business. How would you like a solar battery that helps do 2 things? First, it serves as an instant generator. the moment the power cuts out, and it doesn't even require gasoline. Secondly, it lets you take some control back from the power companies. Yeah, you can use solar power during the peak hours when your power company wants to charge you the most. Oh, and that tax credit on solar batteries, you can get a 30% tax credit right now. This is a phenomenal time to reach out to Ken. He'll come out to your home or your business. He'll give you a comprehensive free estimate, answer any questions. Solar isn't free, but you need to take advantage of those credits when they do come around. Call Ken right now. Save on a solar-powered battery. Online, find him at brokersolar.com or just call Ken, 807-7417. That's 807-7417, Broker Solar.
Palmetto State Armory is on a mission of making freedom available to all Americans. And with retail stores across South Carolina and a fully stocked online shop, we're delivering freedom coast to coast. PSA is an American-made and veteran-owned firearms company built for those who believe in the Second Amendment and the strength of self-reliance. From suppressors, firearms, ammo, and accessories to fishing gear and apparel, we're more than a gun company. We're a movement. Visit us in store or online at PalmettoStateArmory.com. Palmetto State Armory, American-made for life.
Hey y'all, it's Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We're introducing Friday Night Prime Rib Special. Our great chefs at Flight Deck Restaurant have created a great prime rib dinner special, which includes a 10-ounce slow-roasted certified Angus beef prime rib dinner, served with 2 sides of your choice for only $22.95. And if you mention We Love Flight Deck, you get a free cookie or a soft drink with your meal. So come see us at Flight Deck Restaurant to enjoy a delicious slow-roasted prime rib dinner. While you're here, check out the new and improved arcade with over 33 games. We at Flight Deck Restaurant thank you, and God bless.
Escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life with Spa MD, your sanctuary of rejuvenation. Feel the tension melt away as our expert team guides you through your customized wellness journey. From soothing massages to revitalizing treatments, we promise a remarkable experience that leaves you feeling renewed and empowered. Discover the calm within every visit. Reach out at 251-9400 or online at visitspamd.com to explore your options. Your oasis of tranquility awaits.
It's painting season in the Midlands, and Southern Palmetto Painting and Renovation sets the tone for inspired living. Watch your home change from ordinary to outstanding with colors that liven every wall and craftsmanship you can trust. Michael and his team are fully licensed, bonded, and insured. They care for every detail inside and out of your home. Let's give your home the style and care it deserves. Call 922-5615. Southern Palmetto Painting and Renovations, where every project reflects pride.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network on this Talking Tuesday night. Catch you up on what's happening with the South Carolina American Legion State Tournament. This is the senior state tournament. These are the older guys, and we're getting down to just a handful of teams. Welcome in Chris Dorsey with the Big Red Box, and also, of course, with the Richland Post 215 team. And it's great to have you with us once again. Good that you weren't playing anything this afternoon because it's been storming all around Columbia.
Yes, it has. It feels like a year since the last time I talked to you Tuesday when we were driving to play Ori Legion in the first round of the playoffs. All kinds of stuff's happened since then.
Yeah. Well, as I said, we're down to just a few teams, and you got games coming up tomorrow. So fill us in on what's going to be going on. It's going to be at Founders Park. So what is the lineup? What are we down to?
Yeah, so we're down to the final four. There's 4 teams left. Richland 215, us, we're undefeated, so we're going automatically to the state championship final game on Thursday. So, but it's kind of weird. We have to play another game tomorrow against Camden. And if we win, then we got to get beat twice on Thursday. If we lose that game, then it'll be a winner-take-all versus us, and it'll be between in the other bracket, they've got Florence and Inman. So Florence and Inman play tomorrow night before us, or tomorrow at 4 before us, and that the winner of that game will play. And again, it's kind of confusing. If Camden beats us, they'll play each other, and if we beat Camden, then the winner of that game will have to beat us twice.
Yes, I got now. Inman and Florence, each one of is that
right.
is that a single elimination game between those two?
Yeah, so we're real deep into this thing. It started off with 18 and it's down to 4. So we've ran the gamut. We've actually played 5 games in the playoffs since I've spoken to you.
Yeah,
it's every night. Pitching. I mean, it's a gauntlet. It's absolutely exhausting and brutal and fun, and I love it and exciting. But it's a lot. So we're the only team that's undefeated in the playoffs. All those 3 teams that I'm speaking about, Inman, Florence, and Camden, have 1 loss in a double elimination tournament.
Gotcha. So you're kind of in the catbird seat. So you guys have obviously played some pretty good baseball here in the tournament.
Yes, we have. This team I have is just, it's a special group of guys. I mean, we have the worst draw probably in the state. When you look at our draw, we get AC4 powerhouse. Andy Hallett does an incredible job, and he basically our team is basically AC4's team, along with our right fielders for Carlton Newman, our catchers from Ben Lippin, our first baseman's from Ben Lippin, got a couple pitchers, a pitcher from Dreer, but it's mostly predominantly AC4. And, in 3 private schools in Dreer. So we're having to go up. I mean, we're pulling a Hickory Huskers here. It's amazing. And our team, it's been, I love these kids. It's a dugout led team that I've always wanted. They police themselves. They get themselves motivated. And we went into the Lions Den the other day in Florence and came out with a victory at 7-6. We played a tough Inman team last night that beat Camden 18-6. We held them to 2 runs and beat them 4-2. Came back in the 6. We were down 2-1 and scored 3 in the bottom of 6. We've just been, on a magical carpet ride, and we just got to continue this the next couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to be playing this thing at Founders Park, so that's got to be exciting for everybody, coaches and players alike. Tell us about what it is that the guys will get to experience at Founders Park. I mean, are you just walking in and playing the games and heading out, or do they get to, I don't know, meet some of the coaches, or what's the deal when you guys go to Founders Park?
Yeah, so tomorrow is an all-day event. We have a 1:00 game it's an exhibition game for our AA team. The American Legion is trying to really promote 15U. People out there, if you're looking to save money and play quality baseball, it's every bit as good as any travel ball tournament you'll go to for 14 and 15-year-olds, and it's free. It's local. We've only got like 12 teams in AA, and I've actually helped increase that because we've gotten 3 or 4 other teams. But this 15U should explode because, I mean, it's free. And, you play your teams from the local area, and it's great baseball. A lot of high school coaches are picking up on this and bringing their B teams and making them a 15U team. So that's what North Augusta did, and they won the state championship, beat us. But so that starts off at 1. We'll play West Columbia in an exhibition game, our Richland AA team. Then at 4:00, the Florence Inman game will go off, and that's going to be a great game. I mean, for your area, a couple Coastal Carolina commits playing for Florence in Richardson from PD High School. He's nasty left-handed pitcher, and then a Parker from P27 that's from Hartsville plays for them. Both going to Coastal, 94-mile-per-hour fastball, and Richardson's I think he's going to be an elite Chanticleer for a long time. And then Inman's got a bunch of dudes that can hit, and they're well coached from Steve Skinner, been in the business for 40 years. And so they'll play. And then after that, we play Camden. And, that's our rival, and there's no love loss between each other, and we're going to go out there and compete.
Camden Post 17, man. I've heard about those guys for a lot of years, and here they are once again. So you play the games tomorrow. Championship game is on Thursday. Is this – obviously it's open to the public. Is there a charge for folks to get in? What's the story about going in to watch the games?
Yeah, man, it would be great for everybody to come down. I think especially, people with kids that are, maybe kind of getting 13, 14 years old and kind of want to see what it's like. Come watch this. And I would think that the best teams in our league would be like low-level junior college talent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's much better than high school because we're picking, 4 or 5 other guys from if AC Flora had the 4 guys that I brought in to help them, then they'd been incredible. I mean, every high school team's missing a couple guys, but so remember the 18, you can also be a freshman and rising sophomore in college. So you get a lot of college players. The talent that you'll see on display tomorrow is eye-opening. The baseball and the competition is something that people have to see, especially people with kids. And they kind of get a taste of how good you have to be an elite baseball player, because right now these 4 teams, the only players on their team are elite college-level baseball players.
How fresh are the arms at this point? Do you have your frontline pitchers ready to go both ways?
Well, it's like tomorrow for me, our game, we can lose that game. Obviously, we want to win it, but I'm surely, I can let the cat out of the bag. I mean, I'm not going to throw my ace tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Camden knows that. Camden's in a must-win situation, and so I would assume that they would. And then, the other arms in the other game, they're going to have to, everybody's in a do-or-die situation. You can't play the game of, I'm going to hold off a guy. I mean, you got to win. So Camden, Inman, and Florence have to win. If we win that game, they have to win 2 more games.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to win tomorrow, and then they got to beat us twice.
Yeah.
So you got 3 more pitchers you got to burn. So it's hard. But again, Florence they're like Noah's Ark. They've got 2 of that. They got 2 of everything. So they're still deep pitching wise, and they got a lot of pitching. Camden's got Zach Caney available, a Newberry commit from Camden. He's a great player, catcher, pitcher. Just has so much grit and heart and determination, love and talent. And then so they'll have some guys, but it's our pitching's looking good. Looks real good.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Dorsey with us tonight. He joins us every Tuesday for the rundown on South Carolina American Legion Baseball, presented by our good friends at the Let's try that again. The Big Red Box Dumpster Company. And Chris, looking at the playoff bracket, this is what has, I think, confused certainly me, and I believe Phil as well. How did Camden bounce down to your side of the bracket and Post 1 move up to facing Inman when all 3 of those teams, as you pointed out, have a loss with the exception of your squad? And if you look at just the way the bracket is set up, it seemed like Camden would actually be in the situation to face Florence tomorrow instead of playing you guys. How did that work out?
Yeah, I don't complain about brackets anymore. Because I found out that trying to do that stuff is irrelevant. Whoever's in front of me, we're going to go play. And that's the best way to look at this. Now I will explain this from a fan's perspective. The reason why we're not playing Florence tomorrow, because that's what the bracket said, is there's a note in there that they don't want you to play the same team twice in the bracket if it all need be.
Okay,
so remember, we played 2 games ago. We played Florence. And they tried to avoid that, and I think that's actually smart. So they moved Camden to us, and they moved Inman, who had just played Camden, to Florence. So I think that's smart to do that.
Makes sense to me. I'm glad you were able to explain it, and I understand why you would try and avoid having to play the same team 2 times during the playoffs. You'll probably have to see one of them at least one more time for sure.
Yeah, we'll either see. Well, we got Camden tomorrow night, and then on Thursday we're going to either see Camden, Inman, or Florence. And, Inman's a great team. We played them last night, and it was 2-1 in the 6 pitchers. They had scored 18 against Camden, against a really good pitcher. So, they can really hit the ball. Our pitcher, Miller Peel, his father, Tim Peel, passed away 4 years ago. He pitched at Clemson. And I'll tell you what, his dad would be so proud of what he did last night. This guy, has a fastball, probably 82 miles per hour. He's up there facing guys throwing 90. And, he's competing against those guys, and all he does is pitch with heart, determination. And it makes me feel like every time he comes off the mound that he's pitching for his late father, and who was a superstar at Clemson. And this kid last night, I mean, he just battled. And you know what I found out against, power pitching doesn't always play. I think sometimes it gets caught up. If you can find guys that can hit spots, compete, and have determination and grit, I'll take those guys all day. Because I've gone into games with power pitchers that throw 90 and gotten beat, and I just found out after my fourth year, you know what? Trust your guys, and if he throws 81, 82, but he's got heart and knows how to, and doesn't walk anybody and lets them field the ball, then let's go do it. Because what I like about Founders Park, which is big, and I'll stack our defense up against anybody. A guy that's amazing is Jack Chetwood at shortstop. I mean, he's this rising senior at AC4. He's must-see out there at shortstop. And our center fielder, Jacob Muir, who's a walk-on at College of Charleston, is an amazing center fielder. And then we got Zach Snead going to Citadel, who's a aircraft carrier in the middle of our lineup offensively. But maybe the best all-around player in the Midlands is a gentleman named Alvin Murray from Cardinal Newman. He's going to Newberry College. He is a legitimate future draft choice. Just love him. Absolutely love him.
All right, last thing, we'll let you go. What happens after this? Once a champion is crowned, where do they go?
Well, I'll let the cat out of the bag again to say it twice. This year, every 4 years, 2 teams get to go to the Southeast Regional in Asheboro, North Carolina. So we have been so we're in that. We're in the Southeast Regional. With, like 10 other teams from, just take the Southeast. It's all up, and Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So we're going to be in that. And then whoever wins or finishes second in the state comes along with us. So that's what happens. On Thursday, we'll know the 2 teams going to Southeast Regional. Well, we know one. We are. Yeah. And that's kind of a reward for winning, because if you look at the Omaha bracket, if you're 3-0, you go to this championship game. And this one, we got to play another game. And they did that many years ago, and God bless them, because that's what they wanted to do. But you go 3-0, and you should be in the championship game. And but we're getting rewarded because even if we get beat, we're going to the Southeast Regional.
Well, good luck to everybody tomorrow. Should be a lot of great baseball tomorrow and Thursday over at Founders Park in Columbia. And we'll talk to you again next week. We'll keep on keeping in touch with you here till you run out of baseball.
That's awesome. I mean, again, Founders Park tomorrow at 4:00. I mean, high-level baseball. And what I've also seen is some old-timers, my dad's age. Those guys were just coming out to the park again. We had, by the way, our 215 had 30 of their veterans at our game last night. We played in a neutral spot in Lexington, and they were just chanting it up. They wore their uniforms, kind of old school, had their hats on. It was neat. And people need to come see this stuff because it's still growing. It's coming back. It's not where it used to be, but it's coming.
Oh, I see so much advancement, modernization with what you guys are doing, and we appreciate you being with us, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, bud. See ya.
Thank you very much. Chris Dorsey from the Big Red Box Dumpster Company. The rundown presented by the Big Red Box Dumpster Company. Big Red Box Dumpsters covers the state of South Carolina. Convenient swinging doors on the back for easy loading. Make your dumpster rental very simple. Call the Big Red Box Company, 803-783-6834.
This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500.
Clear, set sail.
NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
I'm attorney Jim Corbett. That's the sound of a big hit on you and your car or truck. I've been an attorney for more than 30 years, helping people who get injured in car wrecks and truck wrecks. If you have serious injuries, call Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968, or email me at jim@jimcorbettattorney.com. That's Corbett. I don't get paid unless I recover for you. Jim Corbett Attorney, for your best recovery from a big hit, 803-765-2968, or jim@jimcorbettattorney.com.
The recruiting wizard with the sharpest mind, Phil Kornblut's legend, one of a kind. The ball truth lives on, it's a radio spree. He knows the game before the coaches can see. Master of sports talk with a golden view. Phil Kornblut's got the scoop before it's new.
I like everything about that except the reference to there's no baldness here. There's plenty. I got plenty up top, man. I got plenty up top. But if you look up the definition of bald, I am far from the definition of bald.
What made you stop wearing hats? You haven't worn hats all summer.
Yes, I have.
I mean, I haven't seen you wear a hat in days.
Well, I mean, sometimes I'm in a hat mood and sometimes I'm not. I'm not in a hat mood today.
You're just wanting to air out the scalp. I mean, because there's not very much hair there. So
anybody who's watching the stream can see plenty.
But that's not on the scalp. That's on the sides.
Well, that's
it's
part of the
easy to
scalp.
grow. It's easy to grow hair over there.
All right, time for the freshman question of the night. Trey got me thinking. That is a true story. High school friend. Well, actually, he was older than me. He's my brother's age. But family friend, Dr. Earl Shelley, great guy. Terrific football player. Made me drink beer. I never drank.
How old were you?
In high school. I was a freshman.
I was going to say, we're not about to get him into trouble, are we?
No. I never.
Buying underage. Okay.
I never had any.
It's fine. The statute of limitations are long gone. Phil is way past that age.
I was the premier athlete. I could not have poison in my body in high school. So anyway, I had my first beer and, kind of liked it. Here's the freshman question of the night, spinning off of that. Of course, for those who don't know, the plumber is somehow he got accepted into the University of South Carolina. I guess they had a bed open and said, we'll take your money. So
I don't know how many times they've moved him around with regards to roommates.
You still have
to wonder if they still have a bed for him.
You still got the same roommate?
I haven't talked to him yet. But yes, I've had the same roommate for like the past month, but I don't even know. I know his name. That's all I know about him.
To him.
Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't pulled out or anything.
He graduated from Spring Valley. That's all I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Crosstown rival. So anyway, here's the freshman question of the night for Josh. Assuming that this has never happened before in your life, how many days into your time on campus will it be before you have your first cold beer? Mommy and Daddy not going to be there to tell you no. How old are you? Will you be 18?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 17 now.
But when will you be 18?
Baby. August 15th. My birthday, if anybody wants to send in a card to the Point Radio. But
or just call in, you'll be here working.
Yeah. No, I mean, maybe. We'll see. But no.
How do you feel about people who want to take their birthday off? Like that's some sort of national holiday. I've never taken my birthday off.
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
I have never taken my birthday. My birthday is in November. It's football season, baby. I ain't taking a day off during football season unless I have to. But I've never taken my birthday off.
Even when you were much younger in your teenage years?
Well, I didn't have a job.
Never had a job? Before radio, you never had a job?
Well, I mean, I worked in the family business, and that really wasn't a job.
What were you doing, making corned beef?
We weren't in the food business, dude.
No.
I was selling women's bras and men's underwear.
Oh, okay. So you weren't doing that at 14.
Answer the question. Answer the freshman question
I don't really
of the
think
night.
it can apply to me is the issue.
Well, you can get a beer. You don't have to be, you can be underage and maybe you'll get arrested like Steve Tannehill did, but.
Oh, I mean, I've had a beer in a foreign country, so.
Okay, what was it? What kind of beer was it?
Corona.
A Corona.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was in. I think it was in not Mexico. It was that place. It was Amber Cove. Yeah.
Okay. So when will
Dominican Republic?
When do you think you'll have your first
American
beer on American soil.
Oh, probably the night I move in.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to crack one that night, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That
All right.
boy.
Okay.
Legally, I mean, I'll,
do you know what? Do you know what
No,
brand?
it would be
you
illegally.
You want
You
to?
just make sure you don't.
You want a Heineken, or you want something
No,
fancy?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think a Bud Light.
A Guinness, probably.
Everybody in college drinks Bud Light.
No, you need to work up to Guinness. Yeah, I think I'd go Phil's route. Start small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Work your way up. Some text messages coming in to us tonight and from last night. And our text line number is 803-900-4847. Going back to our conversation somehow last night on Southern Cal women's basketball. Southern Cal has signed the number one women's player the past 3 years in women's basketball. Okay. Well, maybe they need to go win a championship to back that up. Let's see. This comes to us from this is from Ray, I believe. This is one of the few messages from him that we can actually read. A, most of them don't make sense, and then B, there's so much profanity in them that I can't read them anyway. Dabo checking all the boxes, getting a kid, talking about P.J. Chancellor, getting a kid whose dad is in the police force. I mean, you can't make up how brilliant he is. That's a good point. I guess if you got a player whose father's in the police force there. Of course, that's nothing new. I mean, legend has it that back in the day when Danny Ford was in charge, that the Clemson Police Department, they were pretty friendly with the football program, from what I understand.
Well, they've proven that here the last several years. We've seen some incidents that, if it's not in the back door of the city of Clemson, that those guys may have been in serious trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But that has not always been the case.
This is from Daryl. You and Chris say you can't be biased by just voting for all Clemson players on the first team defense, that you have to look at all the teams. I think you and Chris are biased by reputation and not by performance. You put 4 players on the first team.
Tiger fell.
What is this based on? Clemson's defense has been bad for 2 years, but you guys are so blind to the past. At first I thought this was a friendly note. Turning out not to be so friendly. Clemson's defense has been bad for 2 years, but you guys are so blind to the past. What has the defense with same players done to deserve all the accolades? Maybe it's not just the coaching.
It's a valid point. I will say, though, I think I feel pretty confident that Peter Woods is going to be a really good defensive lineman this year.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Military planes from Jordan and the United Arab Emirates are airdropping aid over Gaza. Correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
Jordanian and Emirati planes at King Abdullah II Airbase await orders to fly. Inside the Jordan one, personnel prepare humanitarian aid to be dropped over the central and northern regions of Gaza. It was the third consecutive day aid's been dropped from the sky, following the latest measures taken by Israel due to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The Emirati plane dropped 17 tons, while the Jordanian one sent out 3 tons in large bundles. The widespread destruction by Israeli bombardment in its war against Hamas could be seen from above. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
House Speaker Mike Johnson dismisses a discharge petition from Representatives Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna that's designed to force the release of more files on Jeffrey Epstein. Details from correspondent Bernie Bennett.
The duo's bill is reckless, Johnson told NBC's Kristen Welker on Meet the Press, and it would force the DOJ and FBI to release information he said that was not even credible enough to be entered into the proceedings. Johnson said, quote, I agree with President Trump with the Department of Justice, with the FBI, that you need all credible evidence and information out there. That word credible is important. Why? Because you must protect innocent people's names and reputations whose names might be intertwined into all these files. Johnson says the bill from the two lawmakers was not why he adjourned the House a day earlier than planned. He said the maneuver was necessary because of Democrats seeking to force Epstein votes in the House Rules Committee. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
Officials say Russian glide bombs and ballistic missiles have struck a Ukrainian prison and a medical facility, as Russia's relentless strikes on civilian areas killed at least 27 people across the country. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 204 points, the Nasdaq dropped 80. More at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
Hi, my name's Neil. I have some advice for you if you've been trying to break free from credit card debt. You can start by doing what I did. Get your bills together and call Trinity Debt Management. Trinity is dedicated to helping people like me become debt-free. When I called, my first experience was a feeling of relief. My counselor was kind, and best of all, she didn't judge me. In just a few minutes, she helped me figure out a plan that consolidated all my bills into one lower monthly payment. This substantially reduced my high interest rates and put me on the road to success. In the end, I saved thousands in interest, and today, my credit card debt is a thing of the past.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Neil. Take it from someone who's been there. Call Trinity and become debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
Technology today is making security a major challenge.
The use of deepfakes to impersonate people presenting big problems. Advances in AI mean it's easier than ever before to create lifelike audio and video. Deepfakes can be used for committing corporate espionage and stealing national security secrets. But tech companies say new programs will help government and businesses to detect deep fakes and ensure the people they see on the screen are who they say they are. By the way, this really is Jason Walker reporting.
The number of millionaires in the United States is soaring. A report from Swiss bank UBS finds about 1 in 10 American adults now has a net worth of at least $1 million, with 1,000 new millionaires added every day last year. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Could have some scattered storms up until midnight this evening. Our low will drop to 77 overnight. Tomorrow, more of the same. High temperature about 93 to go, with that usual 30 to 40% chance we get an afternoon downpour. Looking ahead to the weekend, some relief from the heat. Saturday and Sunday highs in the low 80s. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number, 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
All right, we're back on Sports Talk. Phil Kornbluth, Chris Bergen, and the plumber, Josh Cohen. David Shelton coming up in just a second. Just a thought on the previous comments on the text message we got where the caller was disparaging the Clemson defense. Yeah, I mean, last year Tigers gave up about a little over 23 points per game. That's 51st nationally. All right, that's not typical Clemson. In 23, they gave up just over 21 points per game. So that's 31st in the country. All right, not dominant, but pretty good. In 22, they gave up just under 21 points per game, 22nd in the country. And then in 2021, they gave up under 15 points per game. They were second in the country. So I counter what the writer says, Bergie. They weren't their typical dominant self last year. They were pretty good the 2 previous years, and then in 21 they were a dominant team. So, all right, thank you very much.
Well, where they look bad is on defense, and it's the reason that Tom Allen is the new defense. Bad against the run.
Yeah.
Excuse me, is the reason that Tom Allen's the new defense coordinator. I mean, the Citadel put up almost 300 yards rushing against him last year, and Lenore Sellers made them look silly. So I mean, that's the reason for the change. But I mean, you go back and look; they were 85th nationally against the run. But aside from that, they were good enough defense to get them into the playoffs. I just anticipate they'll be better than they were last year.
I would think so. They got better personnel across the board. I think their one question mark is a safety spot back there, and they've got some guys who've played. They haven't played great, but maybe they're going to be a little bit better this year, and that's going to solidify the back end of their defense. Time will tell. I do know that, their corners look good. Hampton and Terrell. I think that's about as good. Well, I like their 2 corners. I like the 2 corners at South Carolina as well. I think both teams have got excellent corners. So,
and the Gamecocks were exceptional against the run last year. So does that continue with that? With all the losses they had up front and in the linebacking core?
Absolutely. All right. Oh, it's such a pleasure to get to our next segment of the program here tonight. We welcome back our good friend.
Turning face to stars and stripes, it's fighting back them butterflies, it's calling in the air, alright, yes sir, we want the ball, and it's knocking heads and talking trash, it's slinging mud and dirt and grass, it's I got your number, I got your back, when your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got a song. Boys are
Our good friend, high school football, is back. That means one thing only on Sports Talk. David Shelton, Bib, is back. Not surgery, not leg pain, not anything can keep him down. He is back and ready to go for 2025. How you feeling, my friend?
Well, let's just say I'm still down and out, but you're worth the aggravation.
That's good. We got to give you something to look forward to. We want you to look ahead. Don't look back. But seriously, I'm sure everybody wants to know. Those who follow us, follow you, know that you've been through some health things. And how are you feeling? And what would you put your percentage at of a typical David Shelton body feel at this point?
Probably about 40-50%. The heart is doing better. The kidneys are not doing better. So it's very difficult to move around. I'm walking with a cane and that kind of thing. So stairs are a problem, which means football bleachers are going to be a problem. But we'll do it. We'll make it happen. I've already talked to some schools. They told me they'd give me a table and set me on the track, and I can watch the game from there. I was like, well, unless you got an elevator in that press box, you're gonna have to find something because I can't go up those stairs. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm at the coaches clinic up in Greenville, and it's really the first thing I've done since last November in terms of a sporting event kind of thing. So, but I'm having fun, seeing a lot of coaches, and doing what I do.
Well, I'm sure everybody's glad to see you. Hey, one thing about the cane, man, don't let that get you down. I hear a lot of women find canes to be very sexy, so use it to your advantage.
Every woman in America could outrun me right now.
All right, we'll get you one of those scooters. That's what you need. You need one of those scooters.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right, what did you take away from the coaches clinic? This was the not just football. This is the all coaches clinic. Coach Scott Early hosting this thing, and he was telling me it's been like the best one he's ever been to. Is very well attended. You had Clemson coaches, South Carolina coaches, I'm sure coaches from many others. What'd you take away? What was the standout item in your mind?
I think the thing that's on everybody's mind is the transfer, the high school transfer portal. It's just a lot of questions about it and a lot of transfers going on. I think somebody sent me a message earlier that the top running back at Goose Creek, who is a really good player, transferred to Stratford today. So, but if you're going to transfer, you better do it by Thursday, or you're SOL, so to speak. So, but a lot of people are concerned about that. There are a lot of teams, a lot of schools that have really remade their roster. I'm talking double-digit transfers over the summer. So, and I mean several schools, and that concerns some people. But it's not just football.
Mm-hmm.
There's basketball to worry about, and volleyball. Girls want to play for a championship, they're going to transfer. But the important thing is I thought Jerome Singleton said it best. It's not a matter of where you transfer. It's when you transfer.
Okay.
Because where, it doesn't matter anymore. You can go where you want to go. But when it's important is the important part. You just can't do it in the middle of the season. You got to do it before the start of the season, which for football is Thursday. You not only can transfer, but you got to be accepted by the school that you're going to. You got to be enrolled in school, which means if you're not yet, you've got tomorrow, and that's it. Then you're going to have to sit 30 days or 50% of the schedule. I get it all confused, but that is on the hearts and minds of a lot of coaches.
More so than, I don't know, from your travels around or your conversations, maybe your travels around South Carolina, we're seeing NIL leak into the high schools in various states. I saw where West Virginia has just approved NIL for high school players. Was that much of a conversation around the coaches this week?
Well, there's actually going to be one session tomorrow. I think, Jerome, I'm not sure. I saw something on the agenda about NIL. Honestly, I think it's going to happen in this state at some point. I know most people are totally against it, but I say this all the time. When something takes hold in college sports, it funnels down to the high schools. Eventually, it's going to happen. I mean, we're talking, 20 years ago when college football, or 25 years ago when everybody ran the wishbone.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a high school game, everybody run the wishbone. The college games went to the spread. High school game went to the spread. And now you got the transfer portal, and it's now in the high school ranks. And so I think NIL is inevitable, but I think it's probably a little ways off. There's going to be, it's going to take a major lawsuit or something, I think, which is not unlikely. I mean, there's lawyers out there chomping at the bit.
David Shelton with us here tonight as we inch closer to the start of football practice. Skeesa's already gotten underway. The high school league will start this week, and then, of course, games right around the corner. And David, of course, right before the end of the legislative season in Columbia, a lot of saber rattling by the representatives over there about it's time to dissolve the South Carolina High School League. That kind of went away as the legislatures went off to summer vacation. But when they come back, they may revisit that situation. Any talk at the coaches' clinic about the future of the South Carolina High School League?
Haven't really heard that a lot. I brought it up in some conversations, and people don't seem to be real concerned about it. I did not bring it up with anybody at the high school league, but I'm talking coaches in general. I mean, I know from the people that I've kind of chit-chatted with that nobody wants that. They don't want the state legislature directing high school athletics, but they can want it all. They can not want it all they want, but it's a real possibility. I personally don't think it'll stick, but I mean, it's out there.
Visiting with David Shelton, High School Sports Report, the Post and Courier, best in business, covering high school football all across the state of South Carolina. I hoped you did talk some X's and O's with some football coaches with practice starting on Thursday. From a football standpoint, on the field standpoint, what seems to be the greatest concern? I imagine, first of all, heat and humidity is on the minds of these coaches as practice gets underway.
Yeah, the weather is the biggest concern. To be honest with you, I talked to several coaches who are going to start practice at 6:30 in the morning and try to beat the heat, and then I've heard some that are going to go like 7 o'clock at night, which is still a gamble because it's still pretty hot at 7 o'clock at night. But yeah, I think the predominant fear is the way it's going to affect the scheduling for the first, month of the season. And to be honest, we've had some wacky weather in August in the recent years. So, I mean, that's something you're going to have to look at as well.
Yeah. This story out of Daniel about some players in the situation at a camp at PC back in June, and some players I think are facing some criminal charges in this case. Much talk about that, and you have a feeling on what might come of that?
Have not. I only found out about that. Somebody mentioned it today. I actually had to go online and look it up because I didn't know about this. I've been kind of out of the loop all summer, but so I haven't really got any information on it, other than the fact that, from what I was reading, it could cause some serious issues for the start of the season for some of these kids.
All right. Give us one surprise anywhere in the state, team-wise. Anywhere, any class, any area. Give us a dark horse. Give us a good dark horse somewhere in the state.
Well, let's see. I would say, and it kind of depends on who's calling who a dark horse. But if I look at the Berkeley Stags, have been 6-6 the last 2 years, and so they've been a mediocre team, to be honest with you. But they got a lot of guys back, and they were successful in the portal with some positions. I think Berkeley is going to take a major step in Division II 4A. Don't know, I mean, Division II's got Northwestern and Irmo and, of course, Gaffney. But I think Berkeley's got a chance to make some noise if they can stay healthy. They've got running backs. They've got a great quarterback. They've got receivers. They got 3 senior linebackers that are 3-year starters, really good in the secondary. I mean, and a good kicker. So I would say that Berkeley's one to watch and see if they can win some of these games that they've been losing, and then that would get them up in the 9-10 win category.
David, it is great to hear your voice. You sound good.
Indeed.
I don't care what you look like. Don't worry about your looks, but you sound good, and don't push it here in the latter part of the summer. Relax, get your rest, but be ready to go come August 22nd.
I'll be ready.
Bring the fire. I want you to bring the heat. We're bringing the heat.
I got you.
All right, man. Always great talking to you.
Thanks, David.
You guys take care.
David Shelton with us here on Sports Talk. Great to hear from him.
I was going to say Latta, weren't you?
Well, that wouldn't. We're not a dark horse. I mean, we're a perennial power. We're like when you talk about your Dutch Forks and your Somervilles and your Spartan Highs and your Gaffneys and your Lattas and your Abbevilles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that is right up there. There's no doubt.
Yeah, throw it right in there. So
Berkeley being better would be a good thing, I think, for the state.
After the break, the Sterling Sharp trivia question. Stay tuned for that, and we'll do recruiting. That's coming up after the break.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Hi, this is Billy Downer from the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Are you looking for a safe place to shoot your rifle or handgun? Did you know that the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources operates 4 manned ranges across the state in Pickens County, Spartanburg County, Richland County, and Charleston County? For more information on our public ranges, visit dnr.sc.gov/shooting.
You've put in the work for your education. The extra early, extra late, extra work. That's because you understand education opens doors to better pay, better opportunities, and a better you. Being educated about playing the lottery is no different. It helps you be a better player, one who knows when to play and when to take a rain check. The lottery's a game, so let's keep it fun. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
George Bryan here with Tsunami Bar Sports and some great spring golf news. If you're ready to mash your tater, I think you need a Laginator. And if you want to get more speed and crack the whip, it's time for a mini stick. So TsunamiBarSports.com, GB10 to get 10% off the Laginator and the mini stick. That's TsunamiBarSports.com, GB10 for 10% off.
No, sir, I ain't been drinking. I ain't even had one beer. This sweet thing's got me buzzing from whispering in my ear. Just take a peek up in here at this little hot mess. Mister, you'll understand. I'm doing my best and I know I'm all over the road. I can't help but...
Why is it every time I check the Yankees, they're losing? Every single time I look at the scoreboard, they're losing. I can't figure it out. Oh, now you're on top of your game.
That's the studio audience all laughing that the Yankees are losing.
All right, here is the trivia question to win this official NFL yearbook for the Hall of Fame weekend. Hang on a second. Why is that making noise? Hall of Fame weekend honoring Sterling Sharp and the others going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Courtesy of the University of South Carolina, they had some of these. They said, take one if you want one. I said, okay, I'll take one. So I've got one. I'm going to keep one, but we're going to give this one away. And Bergie has the question.
I do. Clearly, Sterling Sharp, probably, I think, the greatest wide receiver to ever play at USC, and, of course, holds several school records, including one for the longest play of any kind at South Carolina, a 104-yard kickoff return, which, by the way, Phil, can never, ever be broken because NCAA stats now do not recognize returns out of the end zone. As a matter of fact, you start at the goal line. That's as far as you could conceivably return it. Most times it's going to be a touchback. So the question is, that 104-yard kickoff return came in what year against what team?
Ooh.
Got to have both sides of the coin. Again, Sterling Sharp holds the USC record for the longest football play of any kind, a 104-yard kickoff return. What year did he set that record, and against whom?
And we have two rules. A, you can't use Google, and B, if you are female, you cannot ask your husband for the answer. Okay, those are two rules that we have in place. No Googling, no husbandring. Okay? Can we trust people?
The husband can't ask the wife. Who may be a
don't
bigger sports
expect a
fan
woman.
than her husband.
You don't expect any woman out there to know the answer, do you?
Stop while you're behind.
I think it's entirely possible.
Just stop while you're
And
behind.
I hope that's all we get.
If a female calls in with the correct answer and she's gotten it herself, I will place my personal kiss on this book and include my shape of my lips on the cover to send to you.
Will you wear lipstick when you do it so that the lipstick goes?
I'll put on lipstick and I will kiss the cover.
Excellent.
All right, on to recruiting here on Sports Talk while the calls come in. If anybody wants to take a chance at that, 888-898-2525. The plumber will answer your calls, and he'll let you know if you're right, and the correct answer will put you on the air. But time now for the recruiting report brought to you by Seawells and the Daily Luncheon Buffet this week. What do we have tomorrow, Wednesday?
Southern fried chicken, hamburger steak with onions, teriyaki glazed salmon, and carved mojo pork loin.
Mojo. You meant mohawk.
Mojo. M-O-J-O. It's like a seasoning.
I got a great line, but I can't say it on the air. I'd get in trouble.
I got a dumb button. See, you can just say it.
No, I don't trust you. See, I think you're setting me up to get fired. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to set me up to get fired. Nope, not going to say it. I'll tell you off the air what I'd say if I could say it on the air. Or if this were a podcast, if this were not true professional live on the air radio with true professional live people, I would. If it were a podcast where you don't have to be professional and you don't have to be live and you can edit everything, I could say it. But I'm not. This is not a podcast. This is live professional radio, so I'm not going to say it. All right, that's Wednesday and Thursday, Friday, and we got a roast beef Friday.
No. Oh, yeah, we do.
Yeah. And the phone number for Seawells for their terrific catering business, 803-771-7385, online at SeawellsCateringSC.com. All right, just a few recruiting items this afternoon. Clemson is among the early favorites. 2027 offensive lineman Kennedy Brown out of Houston. He told Rivals that right now Clemson, Penn State, Georgia, SMU, Texas, Texas A&M, and Oregon are standing out to him. He was at Clemson in April. He plans to visit Clemson for the LSU game. He also plans to take in games at Tennessee when the Vols host Georgia, and he also plans to go to a game at Penn State. 2027 linebacker Jalathan Mayfield of Lincoln to North Carolina.
Now, you want to talk about a non-dark horse team. There you go, right there.
He's got South Carolina among his top schools at this point. He told Rivals the others standing out, Michigan, Georgia, Florida, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Tennessee. South Carolina was his first offer. He's been to see the Gamecocks the most of all those teams. Clemson also showing interest. 2027 linebacker Cooper Witten, 6'1", 215 of Argyle, Texas, has a top group right now. Clemson, Tennessee, Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, and Ohio State. He's the son of the former Cowboy tight end. Dorman defensive end Christian Waring was offered by Wake Forest. USC basketball target 6'9" Justin Caldwell is taking an official to Georgetown today. Be right back.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Could have some scattered storms up until midnight this evening. Our low will drop to 77 overnight. Tomorrow, more of the same. High temperature about 93 to go, with that usual 30 to 40% chance we get an afternoon downpour. Looking ahead to the weekend, some relief from the heat. Saturday and Sunday highs in the low 80s. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
The Point is teaming up with our friends at Americans for Prosperity, South Carolina, for one big, beautiful party. Join us at Flight Deck Restaurant in Lexington, Friday, August the 8th, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We'll do the afternoon drive live. And how about this? The food is on us. It's AFP and the Point's way of saying, hey, thanks for always supporting important causes, calling your elected officials, caring about local issues. Friday, August the 8th, Flight Deck. Come by and celebrate one big, beautiful party. We'll see you there.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Residents in the southeast U.S. are no strangers to hot weather in the summertime. But the sweltering heat this week set at least one record, and forecasters urged residents to limit being outside if possible and to hydrate. The all-time high temperature record at Tampa International Airport was broken on Sunday when the thermometer hit 100 degrees. Union Pacific is seeking to buy Norfolk Southern in an $85 billion deal that would create the first transcontinental railroad in the U.S. and potentially trigger a final wave of rail mergers across the country. The proposed merger announced Tuesday would marry Union Pacific's rail network in the West with Norfolk's rails that snake across eastern states. More details available at srnnews.com.
When your pipes panic, Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning steps right in, fast and friendly. Josh and his team aren't just fixing leaks, they're restoring your peace of mind. This is when you're at your most vulnerable. You got a problem, you need a solution. They're not coming out to upsell you or talk you into something new this or new that. You'll appreciate their process. They'll tell you what needs to get done and what it'll cost before they ever even bring in their tools to start the work. They're locally owned, which unfortunately is no longer the norm in the Midlands. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning will treat every home like their own. They've done work for me, for my brother, countless numbers of Point listeners. Dial 799-2222 or visit franklinplumbing.sc.com and you tell them Kev from The Point sent you. You will experience plumbing that's more than just a fix. It's a solution from people who care about their work and stand by it. When you need them, please don't panic. Just call Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, 799-2222.
Hi, I'm Tazima. Join me every Saturday at 11 a.m. for Small Business Saturday. We'll celebrate business owners in our community while learning their stories of success and failure. It's Small Business Saturday right here at 100.7 The Point.
Dave Ramsey here. Do you want your money to work for you rather than you working for your money? Go see my friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union. They're not a mega bank and have been serving the Midlands since 1936, offering good old-fashioned customer service and free services. They'll look out for your financial well-being. With 14 locations, check them out today at palmettocitizens.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
What's better than getting the best Wagyu and Hereford beef anywhere in these parts and getting it delivered to your door? How about knowing you're still supporting local farmers in Saluda over at H&J Cattle, where tradition meets quality? Visit HandJCattle.com. Place your order for $50 or more, get free delivery in Richland or Lexington County. Plus, Point listeners get 10% off your order. Enter keyword The Point as one word for your discount. HandJCattle.com.
This is Fran Halloran, the Money Coach. Grow with The Point as we build on 10 incredible years of community local radio. We've built an environment where our listeners are our family. Are you a small business with big dreams? Join the tremendous stable of advertising partners at The Point. Connect with Kevin Cohen and brainstorm a tailored strategy to escalate your business growth using the powerful platform of The Point. Call Kev directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, you can make the next year your best year.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 a.m. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
They lay it all bare. Competition fierce, but respect, it's there. Shane Beamer, his voice rings loud and clear. In South Carolina, he's leading the team near Dabble Swinney with his fiery passion. In Clemson, he's got the fans in a sensation. On Talking Tuesday, they see their game plan. Coaches Beamer.
All right, we got Josh Harris of Darlington coming up in just a moment. We're going to have some Darlington tickets, by the way, to give away to the weekend of racing at Darlington. That'll be coming up. I think in early August we'll be doing that, so stay tuned. But right now we're going to give away this copy of the NFL official yearbook for this weekend's Hall of Fame induction featuring former Gamecock star Sterling Sharp. Our trivia question again, Bergie, was?
He holds the USC football record for the longest play of any kind. It was a 104-yard kickoff return. What we want to know from you is what year did Sharp accomplish that feat and against which team?
All right, again, if you Google this, you're ineligible. If you're a female and you asked your husband, you're ineligible. And we have our ways of knowing. So, where are we going? Oh, let me go here and check the list. Let's go to Andy in Columbia. First up, Andy, fire away.
What do you want first, the year or the team?
Whatever order makes you happy.
1985. The Duke Blue Devils.
We made it too easy.
Now,
this was a Berkey question.
One thing I would like done. Get Sterling to sign it.
Well, and we got to go because I got Josh. I got Josh hanging on, so I would never approach Sterling for anything. I mean,
Do I have to get a hold of Pop?
I don't dislike him.
Do that.
We got to go. Don't dislike him. I admire him. Think he's a great athlete, but and a great football player, good person. But he doesn't. I was a little surprised that Lou Bajak of the state got him to comment on going into the Hall of Fame. He doesn't like to do a whole lot of interviews. I don't think he likes to do a lot of autographs, and I don't approach anybody for autographs unless it's my own. So we'll have to send it to you without any sort of autograph. But hang on, we'll get your address and drop this off in the mail to you in the morning, and we appreciate you participating.
And see, then Andy could have the pleasure of actually going up to Sterling and getting it autographed, and he would know it is a full-fledged, legitimate autograph from Sterling Sharp.
Or he can have the
gotten it
pleasure
himself.
of being told no by Sterling if he approached him for an autograph, if he said no. Sterling's been known to be a little hard to approach on those things.
Surly?
Yeah. I mean, and that's fine. That's his business. But he's
unbelievably talented player.
All right, thank you very much for that. Let's get to Josh. I tell you, one thing we could do, we could get Josh Harris to autograph this magazine and then send it to Andy.
Just as important.
Get one of those auto pens. We'll get an auto pen and do it that way. Time for our visit with Josh Harris, president of Darlington Raceway. I'm sure you've signed many an autograph in your day, sir.
Well, I've signed some documents. I don't know how many of them I would consider autographs.
Well, as long as you're signing the check, I'm sure most people are happy to have your name on those documents. Great to have you with us. We're going to be rolling into August here pretty soon, but let's talk about Indy this past weekend. Kind of played out the way most NASCAR races play out at Indy, though the ending turned out to be kind of interesting with the restarts. That made it a little bit fun. What'd you think of the whole weekend there?
Yeah, it was a tough weekend for them battling the weather. It was hot like it was here, but they had the added element of pop-up showers throughout, so it was a little bit of dodging, interrupted their practice on Friday, got a little practice in on Saturday. But yeah, I think the race played out about kind of what you expect from Indy. It's still, in my opinion, one of those places it's just so cool to go race at a historic facility like that, and it's well worth NASCAR going and being back on the oval. You had a lot of passing throughout the field. A guy like Denny Hamlin, who starts at the back and worked his way all the way to the front, led some laps, could have had a chance to win that race, finishing third. Toyotas were certainly strong throughout the weekend, showed that on Sunday during the race, and then ultimately, Bubba Wallace was able to take advantage of some strategy, put himself in the right position with about 30 laps to go, held off two restarts against Kyle Larson, so he certainly earned it there at the end, and I think it's really cool to see him get a win.
That's a big, very popular win, Michael Jordan and all that. Anytime that race team does something positive, Michael Jordan's name's going to be mentioned because of his ownership. By the way, I'm taking a look at the weather forecast for Sunday, your race day, is calling for a shower, thunderstorm, high of 88. Low of 72. I have a paid-for weather app that can give me up to 45 days.
Which, by the way, Josh has never been correct, so don't listen to him.
It gives me 45 days in advance, so be prepared for showers and a thunderstorm.
Been right.
Sometime on that Sunday.
We're gonna. It's way too early for me to start worrying about the weather. I got plenty of other things to check off our list before we get to the weather. But I'm just gonna say this is one time I hope you're wrong.
And by the way, the wind will come from the south-southwest at 11.6 miles an hour. I mean, I don't know where they get this, but that's what it says. So, we move forward, and we got Bristol coming up this weekend. Well, I'm sorry, not Bristol. The Bristol Speedway this weekend is going to be on display with Major League Baseball going in there. And they're talking about like 90,000 people or so going into Bristol to watch this baseball game, breaking an all-time attendance record for baseball. So your thoughts on that? And, I mean, with the success of this kind of thing, are other tracks going to be looking at these kind of events as additional revenue streams?
Well, for one, I think it's really cool for Bristol Motor Speedway, for the Atlanta Braves, my favorite team growing up, still my favorite baseball team. I'm really interested to see how it all comes together. I know they've spent a lot of resources, time, and money to put this together. So it's good to hear that, going into the weekend, they've already sold, like you said, in excess of close to 90,000 tickets, and that number will probably continue to grow. I've seen the pictures of the stadium and the field inside there at Bristol. It looks pretty neat, and I think it just shows the way we can be creative with our facilities. I think Bristol is unique in that how big its grandstands are around that half-mile track gives them some opportunities that maybe other tracks don't have to do things specifically like this. Obviously they hosted that big Tennessee and Virginia Tech game about 10 or 15 years ago. And then, now doing this, you could see that maybe at a place like Martinsville if they wanted to, but I think all of the tracks are looking at different ways we can use it. And this is certainly a unique one for them. And looks like it's paying off. So as a fan, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Josh, dovetailing off of that, do they not have permanent structures on the infield? Like, say, for instance, if you guys wanted to host a football game at Darlington, maybe Hartsville and Lamar playing a high school game there, you'd have issues because of the way the garage is set up. Is Bristol not like that?
That's a good idea.
No, they do have some buildings in I'll call it inside the turns on both ends, but most of the middle portion of their infield is just open because for their races, the cup hauler or the haulers will pull into the infield, and the teams, rather than working out of a garage, they work out of the back of their haulers. So it's pretty open there in the middle. I do know that they had to remove one of the buildings in their infield in order to accommodate the baseball layout. So like I said, they definitely have invested some time and resources financially into making this happen in a building that I would presume they will probably want to rebuild. But sometimes in the name of doing something really big and really cool, you may have to take a building down. I think for us, we've got some grass areas in the infield, but we also got a bunch of power pedestals. It'd be really difficult to find a football field in the infield of Darlington. You might be able to go to a place like Talladega or Daytona where you've got the grass in the tri-oval section there. You could probably make a football field out of one of those, but I don't think we're going to be seeing any football at Darlington anytime soon.
Josh Harris, president of Darlington Raceway, where they know what they do well, and that's NASCAR racing and opening up the playoffs at the end of August. Wanted to go back to Indianapolis for a moment, and unless I'm mistaken, and certainly could be a possibility, late in that race, Josh, I was listening to the commentators. They'd go into the radio, and the crew for Bubba Wallace told him that if it got to a second overtime, they did not think they were good on fuel, and he was going to run out of gas and had no shot to win. When it went to the second in overtime. I just assumed they were correct and they were in trouble. Is there a possibility that they put that kind of stuff out on the radio to try and fool the other teams?
Well, I think there's always some gamesmanship going on. So certainly that could be the case. And really, they have a lot of technology at their disposal that can help them get a very, very close guess. But sometimes it just comes down to maybe they got a little bit more fuel in the tank than they really thought they did. Maybe Bubba did a better job of saving fuel over that run than what they could calculate through watching his telemetry. So sometimes it's just a matter of you play your cards just about right, and it works out, and that's what happened for them on Sunday.
Tell us about the event you guys tomorrow, teaming up with the governor, and not in Columbia, though. You're actually going to be up in Greenville tomorrow to promote the race.
Yeah, we've got race fans all across the state, and that's what's great about South Carolina. Every spring, it's great to go to the governor's mansion when the legislative session is in, and we get to hang out at the State House for a little while, show our appreciation to all of our leadership there. And last summer, we went over to Myrtle Beach, and this summer we're going to go up to Greenville. So, yeah, love the support we get from Governor McMaster, and it's always cool to get together with him. We're going to be at Reedy River there in Greenville doing a little press conference. We're going to have Director Woods from the South Carolina Department of Public Safety. We got Ross Chastain there with us. So it'll be a good day getting up in the Greenville-Spartanburg area, talking about Darlington, our 75th anniversary. We know we got a lot of race fans up there, a lot of history and tradition of racers from that area. So looking forward to that tomorrow. And then I think we're going to take Ross over to Clemson in the afternoon and maybe check in on what they've got going there as they get ready for football camp.
Is he bringing watermelon?
We'll have to see. Ross usually travels with a watermelon. We'll have to see if he's bringing any, if we're going to smash it, or maybe have a little snack.
All right, that's great. And let's let folks know how to get those tickets, because it's getting to be about race time. I know those tickets are getting more and more scarce.
That's right. A little over 30 days away. Cookout Southern 500, Sober Slammer 200 on Saturday. Tickets are available at darlingtonraceway.com. You can call us at 866-459-RACE. If you want to talk to one of our agents, they'll get you all set up. Packages available for families, first responders, teachers, military, you name it. They're going fast, though. Don't miss out on a chance to be there for our 75th anniversary.
Always appreciate it. Have a great week. Good time up in Greenville. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Josh.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Josh Harris, president of Darlington, visiting with us here tonight on Sports Talk. Appreciate that. Yeah, they'll be up in the Greenville area, so those of you up in Greenville, be on the lookout for that over in the Reedy River area. I thought that river was once named for Chuck Reedy, but I think it's another Reedy family up that way that it must have been named for. Just a thought. Okay, we're going to hear from the Tigers' T.J. Parker coming up.
75 years. One reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Maybe your credit's seen better days, or maybe it's just never been quite where you want it to be. At Founders Federal Credit Union, we get it. Life happens. Things don't always go according to plan. But that doesn't mean your goals are out of reach. Whether it's a car to get to work or a little extra breathing room in your budget, we offer personal and auto loans to help you move forward. With flexible terms and a team that treats you like a person, not a number. We take the time to understand, because you don't need a perfect credit score to start your next chapter. Visit a local Founders office or foundersfcu.com to learn more. Founders, helping you do life on your terms, helping you build a brighter financial future. All it takes is one visit to foundersfcu.com to get you started. Relax. You've got this with Founders. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, T.J. Parker had a terrific year last year. Clemson defensive end, looking for more of the same, if not a step up, if possible, for this coming season. Had a chance to talk to him at the ACC kickoff.
And this talk about Clemson winning the whole thing, the ACC National Championship. How are you feeling about that going into the season? How does that talk kind of impact you as you do your work and get ready for the season?
We see all the talk, but at the same time, we still got to go play. You know what I'm saying? Talking about it, you know what I'm saying? Speaking on it, it doesn't matter because it's not going to help us win games at all. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we got to go do it. We have the team to do it, and we have the ability to do it. We just got to go execute. And there's going to be bumps along the roads, but as long as we handle adversity well, we'll be able to do what we do. And the results of our season, you know, it all depends on us. So,
what have you seen working with the defense? What have you seen from a focus standpoint, an intensity standpoint, a drive standpoint in getting ready for this season?
I think the demand and the accountability that Coach Allen and all our other coaches like Coach Rump, Coach Eason, demand from us has boosted us, really. We've took last year and we reviewed it, what we could do to get better, what we did good, and just trying to get better every day. Just trying to switch our mentality compared to last year, just trying to be on it. And everything that happened, you know, all the seniors kind of got together and said, we're not going to have a season like we did last year where we get bounced out the first round like that. We're going to try to do whatever it takes to get to the top. So we did this offseason, whether it's getting better in the classroom, changing your body, we did whatever it takes. So I'm excited about this year.
So you still won the ACC, and you still made it to the playoffs. You did lose 3 games, which stung you, I'm sure. And let's face it, the way things ended against South Carolina with some defensive breakdowns had to hurt. Do you feel like the defense did not have a great year overall last year?
There were some times where we had some good moments. There were times we had some bad moments. Compared to my freshman year, we had a down year, I would say, but that's all right because we're going to bounce back and we understand what we have to do. So we're locked in on getting better every day, fixing what we had to fix from last year's mistakes, which I'm super excited about to get back on. So,
Coach Tom Allen, what do you think of him? What does he bring as a defensive leader?
Man, I love him, but he's relentless. You know what I'm saying? The fire he has and the passion he has towards this defense and executing things is unbelievable. For me, my first time meeting him, I was so fired up. I was ready to play right then and there, you know what I'm saying? And going through the spring, our mentality, the way we played as a defense, we played so much more confident, so much more free, so much more fast and physical. It's overwhelming. So I'm just super excited to get rolling in camp and for the season. So,
is he a in-your-face kind of guy, or is he a rah-rah, backslapper, encouraging kind of guy? How does he deal with the individual?
He's whatever you want, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, every player is different. And he's been a head coach for so long. He understands how to approach certain players and things like that, you know, just because everybody's different. And that's what makes him great, too. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He knows who he can be super fiery with and who he needs to just say, hey, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about him. And just speaking on me, like, I'm the type of guy, I need somebody who's going to get in my face, who's going to yell and scream at me, because that's all I've seen growing up. So for him to do that to me, it's like, yo, like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You're okay. You're okay.
I'm all good. I'm not taking no offense to that. I need you in my face to tell me, like, what's up. Like, because that's how I am. I want to be coached. And I'm gonna let you know when I want to be coached hard, so I want you to coach me hard as possible. So,
what has he coached you on technique-wise? What has he broken you down and said, okay, this is how I want this to be done? What kind of things has he showed you?
Man, really just, you know what I'm saying, breaking down the season. There's a couple of times where I could have been more smart in situations that, you know, he educated me on, allowed me to play free. So, which I've fixed this offseason, man. I'm super excited to play, and the knowledge I've gained, just talking to him and spending a lot of time with him, man, I'm ready to go. So.
Were you in the weight room the day that Peter Woods did 700?
Yeah, I was right there behind him. You see me in the video. I'm hyping him up because at first it was a regular day, regular squat day. I looked at him. I'm hyped. I'm like, bro, we might as well max out. Let's do it. And from there, you know, I stopped around 610, 620, and I'm like, oh, you're not done though. You can keep going. And every step of the way, I'm right there. He keep going. It kept moving easy and easy. I kid you not. He put 700 on the bar, squatted it easy, And he could have kept going, but we didn't have a big enough bar. So it's like we had to stop him there. But I guarantee he definitely, if we would have kept going, he could have squatted 800. And then we ain't talking about half squat. We're talking full on, bottom to the ground, all the way up, full squat. I kid you not. He's that freaking an athlete.
What did the bar do?
Oh, it was bending. Like, as soon as he lifted it off, the bar just was bouncing, and it was just crazy. See, I've never seen nothing like that before in my life.
What do you think of this defensive front?
Man, we're going to be nasty this year. Man, we're a veteran group, but we got some young guys who are ready to go.
The addition of Will Held on the other side from you.
Yes, sir.
What have you seen in him? What does he do? How do y'all complement each other? What have you seen from him?
Man, he keeps his head down. He works. You know, he trains well. He moves well. He trains like a pro. When you see Will, you see how he moves and how he plays and performs. Mm-hmm. He's like a pro, man. I'm just super excited to have him as my teammate. And man, we've bounced ideas off each other, pushed each other to get better, and we always try and get that edge over each other. You know, a friendly competition. Because at the end of the day, I want him to have a great season just like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's coming from Purdue. He had a great year as well. And I told him, I said, you had a great year, but it don't mean nothing. Same for me, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we got to go do it again. And this year, we're on a bigger stage. And I told him, I said, man, I'm super excited for you to have fun and just ball, man. Like, I'm just super excited for him. So.
Have you set a personal goal for sacks?
I did, but I ain't going to share it. You just going to see it, you know what I'm saying? So
is it double digits, above double digits? I mean, it's in the double digit category?
I had, 11, 12 last year?
Yeah.
So you can just kind of guess how many I'm going for. So,
who's the better defensive end, T.J. Parker or Dylan Stewart?
I'll let y'all do that. You know what I'm saying? I just turn the tape on for whatever you're looking for. He's a great athlete. He had a dominant year last year too. I was watching him. Yeah. So shout out to him, but you know, I'll let y'all keep up with that. I don't get into none of that. You know what I'm saying? I play my game, he plays his game. So
when you hear the name Garrett Nussmeier, what comes to mind?
Elite quarterback. For surely. Yeah, he's a great quarterback. He understands the game. He's been doing this for a while, man, and so he'll definitely try to give us a run and stuff like that. So I'm super excited to play them.
You feel like you're going to meet him a few times in the backfield?
Man, I'm gonna play my game. He's gonna play his game, and we're gonna play August 30th. So we'll let the hype keep going for there, and we'll just play. So
you've played in a lot of hype games, but I mean this one to kick off the season at your place. I mean, how hyped are you guys going to be?
Man, we're just hyped to play football in general, no matter who we play. You know what I'm saying? We're just excited to get back and play our game. Because at the end of the day, we play in Clemson. So I'm just super excited about that, and we're ready to go.
All right, Bergie, you answer the question. T.J. Parker, Dylan Stewart. If you had to pick one.
Wow. Based off just last year, it's really hard because, as T.J. Parker said, I mean, he had 11 sacks last year, and Dylan Stewart was unblockable at times. I don't know, Phil. I don't know who I would take. I'm not trying to dodge your question. I'm not sure who I would take. But I will say this, the folks at Central High School in Phoenix City ought to be awfully proud. He's been coached really well, and he doesn't mind getting yelled at. That's interesting.
Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The man who killed 4 people in the New York City skyscraper that's home to NFL headquarters carried a note blaming the league for the cognitive problems he developed as a high school football player. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
A suicide note found in his possession at the scene spoke to a possible motive in the shooting and may explain why he targeted NFL headquarters. In that note, Mr. Tamura claimed to be suffering from CTE, possibly from playing high school football, and he blamed the NFL. He also writes, "Study my brain. I'm sorry."